Hello everyone, my name is Vangeris, and welcome to the 5-year special video. In this video, we're going to be celebrating 5 years of existing on YouTube. This is basically going to be just a short little outline of what's coming. So this is the intro, and there's 6 parts. There's the intro, there's a history lesson, there's the celebrating of 5 years, then there's talking about the future of the channel, there's a Q&A, and then I'll end with thank yous and an outro. So that's basically the format for this. In the introduction, I'm just going to go through what's coming, like I'm doing right now. In the history lesson, I'm going to go over the last 5 years of the channel. In the third section, celebrating 5 years, it's going to be just a montage of funny moments and comments I've gotten on videos with some honorable mentions to videos I enjoyed making. Part 4 is going to be talking about the future of the channel, and it's just going to be me talking, so it's nothing real highbrow or really well edited. Section 5 is going to be the longest, undoubtedly, because it's the Q&A, and these questions are from some subscribers, as well as questions I thought that would help people kind of understand me better. That's going to be the longest section, and right now it's looking like it's going to be at least a good half of the video, if not more. So, yeah, be prepared for a lot of Q&A shit. And then finally, there's going to be the thank yous and outro. And with all that out of the way, let's begin.
Now it's time for a lesson. Vangeris, a history. Back in the waning hours of one September 23rd, 2015, one fucking idiot decided to get on the internet permanently by starting a YouTube account. And that account was me, in case you're fucking stupid. But anyway, after that, I began to get into Let's Plays because that's the only way that I could legitimize playing a game in college when I really should have been studying. Ah, the memories. But yes, I started with a few games that many of you know. Some that are considered great or were classics of the time. Well, I say of the time. And by the time, I mean almost 10 years before. Because I started playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. COD 4. The first one. Not this reboot shit. I played that for many a year because I was so incompetent at YouTube, so unconfident, and so unaware of how to do anything right that it took me several months to get through a game that should have taken less than 4 hours. But yes, that was the first game I touched. And after that came Dying Light and Dead Space 2. 2 games that I remember fondly. Dying Light was one humdinger of a Medusa, and Dead Space 2, well, it was rad, and it was spooky, and it was gory as all hell. I hate that eye machine. I hate that eye machine death so much. Shortly after that, I began to expand slightly once I moved into my own place and dropped out of college, because fuck that. Seriously, fuck that. I don't want to pay thousands of dollars just to hear what I already know. What the fuck? Anyway, getting back to a history. Once I moved into my own place, I was given free rein to do as I pleased in the year of 2016. And in the end of that year, I began to play Zombie Army Trilogy, a game that I really enjoy. A game that has taken my friends forever and a day to play with me because they're fucking assholes. But I forgive them. We've begun playing. I forgive them their transgressions. After that, I began to schedule videos because I noticed I was pumping them out at the time. And my schedule changed many a time afterwards. But it began with a simple 1 video a day, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8 p.m. And then the year began to progress. I slowly made my way through Zombie Army Trilogy. I made 57 fucking videos on that game. Not even lying. 50 fucking 7. Do you know how many weeks that is? I'm terrible at math. That's almost 20. That's almost 20 weeks. That's half a year of Zombie Army Trilogy, while also catching up on Dying Light, Dead Space 2, and COD 4 because I was too incompetent to finish one Let's Play before beginning others. Once 2017. I can't fucking speak. It must be that disease they tell me about. What is it? What is it? Dementia. Yes, I can barely remember how to spoken. Oh shit. I've forgotten where I am. Who am I? Oh yes, Vangeris, a history. Yes. So, we continue on into 2017 with many videos coming out. Many videos. And then 2018 rolls around, and I begin to schedule more videos because I realize that I'm making quite a lot of them. And now it is Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And from there I went into 2018 playing several games. Several games that I came to love, that I came to absolutely adore. One of them being that I finished near the end of the year, Alien Isolation. One of my favorite games, and one of the few games that I was such a whore about that I played and got every single fucking achievement. Because yes, I'm that guy. Shut the fuck up. Don't judge me. I also played several other games during this time. Subnautica, one of my favorites. One of my biggest favorites. As well as experimenting. I did a strange anime game that we won't talk about anymore because it's the one thing on this channel that makes me look like a fucking weeb. And I'm sick of being called a filthy fucking weeb because I'm not a filthy fucking weeb. So please let go. Please leave me alone, friend. I'm talking to one specific person. You know who you fucking are. Anyway, I played several other games at the time, several of them being somewhat horror-focused. I went back and did some Left 4 Dead walkthroughs. I did some other walkthroughs of games that I had played, such as Just Cause 2. I started a series called Road to Commander with Skyrim, with the basic premise to fill up the talent tree. And that began a journey that has not ceased to this day, because when I set a challenge for myself, they're always too fucking long to accomplish. They're always too fucking long. And when 2018 was nearing its end, I was prepared to change my schedule again, because I had pre-recorded almost all the videos for 2018 by the end of March of 2018. I was months ahead of schedule, nearly years, and so I thought, fuck it, let's record 2 videos a day, let's go for the double upload. And in that double upload, I would do an 8 a.m. and an 8 p.m. slot. And in those slots, I would put games, newer games in the AM, and other games that have nothing to do with fucking trends. I opened the year by playing Call of Duty Black Ops, arguably one of the best campaigns ever made for Call of Duty, because it was interesting, and not a jumbled fuck of explosives and exposition about territories, such as Modern Warfare 2 and 3. What the fuck were you doing, Michael Bay? We also went and played Doom for the first time. The 2016 one. The badass one. Yes. Not to say the first one isn't a badass one, I just haven't played the first badass one. The first badass one I played was Doom 2016. Shut the fuck up. We played that, and I loved it. It was the first time that my computer was able to run it without problems. It was the only game in my Steam library for many years that I could not boot up because of the lag. The frame rates were capping at a solid 7. It was terrible. But the game was amazing, and I felt like a beefy bald bastard after finishing it. But I continued on and began to play more games, even more games, finishing up the Call of Duty series at Modern Warfare 3. I played the shit out of that game because of the campaign, the Spec Ops, and the survival modes took for fucking ever to complete. And then I began an arduous task, playing through the entire Dark Souls trilogy. There are several moments in those first playthroughs where people can see that I knew nothing about the games at first. It was quite a scary time, not knowing what to do, rage quitting at bosses that I would later come to love. It is something very interesting, and I recommend people watch it, just like I recommend watching all my stuff because give me attention. I also ventured into more horror games, going through the Metro series, with Metro Last Light, while previously doing Metro 2033 in the year before. I also began to play Soma, a game that I fell in love with, as well as Amnesia and Outlast. Amnesia was really fun, and I quite enjoyed it, although I did get stuck here and there. Outlast was fucking terrible. Don't tell me otherwise, you fucking degenerates. You don't know how to make a good fucking horror game when the best you can do is just jump scare every 15 seconds. Seriously, what the fuck? Later on in that year, I began to realize that my life was changing. I had a friend move in to live with me, and I got a girlfriend. And no, those are not the same people. So shut the fuck up about that. I don't know what you're saying, but shut the fuck up. Anyway, after that happened, I realized I needed to prioritize my time, as I was not pre-recording at the rate I was normally used to. And I was beginning to fall behind in the later days of 2019. It was a long and arduous task to get to 2020. But once I got there, I decided, you know what? I'm going to say fuck it to the way I've been doing things. No more scheduled videos. And I'm not going to be making multiple 30-minute episodes of a series. Now I'm going to be long man of walkthroughs. If a game like Amnesia comes out, and I play it, and it's 7 hours long, then you will expect a 7-hour video. If I play something like Just Cause 2, that's 40 fucking hours long. Expect 4 10-hour videos. Expect long man videos. And complete re-edits of old shit that I did. Which would probably confuse newcomers, just because, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm doing, and you don't know what I'm doing either. We can be bonded by our mutual insanity. Once 2020 shifted, I revamped everything on the channel, while also making some notes about how I could improve, such as I need to be funnier, I need to play the game and talk about the game. And I did become more confident, which was really nice. And once 2020 came, and I settled into my new style, things slowly began to fall into place. With newer games that I played, like State of Decay, being relatively easy to do, since I just had to record a 2-hour session, and then I could fuck off and do something else and not have to worry about uploading on a schedule. It was quite liberating to not have a schedule. I played through other games as well in this year of 2020. I played through Outlast 2, and fucking hated it more than Outlast. Holy shit, it was worse. What the fuck? I also began to do several no-commentary runs of games. Basically playing through a game that I loved, that I wanted to play again. I also finished up the long-awaited Dying Light the Following walkthrough, which I should have finished right after Dying Light, but it took me 5 fucking years. I apologized for it, and I will continue to apologize for that, as that is probably one of the greatest sins I have committed on this channel. But then more games came, and then the greatest game I have ever played. I'm joking, it's not really the greatest game, but it's a great game and it's really fucking fun. Doom Eternal. I played that game and holy fucking shit was it awesome. And holy fucking shit, it was awesome the second time. And the third time. And the fourth time when I finally recorded it for a no commentary run. It was glorious. Like many other games I played, it was a great experience. And I remember many of them fondly. It's been a long time where I've been running some Road to Commander series, that are not specifically Let's Play focused. At first I had only Skyrim, but now I have Skyrim, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and I have World of Warcraft Classic in the works, which would be fun, because I would play that game too much anyway, so may as well put it towards this hobby. I also began to get into bigger franchises, beginning playing through the Half-Life games and Resident Evil. I've been working on a Dark Souls 2 commentary in Matthew Matos's style for a long-ass time. I swear, I think it's actually been at least 2 years at this point. I'm taking my time because I'm a lazy shit, but I am making progress. I am getting there. Give me time. Please? Please leave me alone. Leave me alone to ponder what I've become. But then that brings us to present day, where my 5-year anniversary being on this platform. After breaking 1,000 subs a few months before now, all I can say is this. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Adam, protect us! Protect us!
Get over here, boys.
Protect us!
Come on, boys.
Knife! Knife! Knife!
Knife, Ryan, knife!
Knife! Knife!
Our bolts shall block out the sun.
Oh.
Oh yeah! Holy fuck! Who shot me? What are you fucking dumbass?
It wasn't us.
Treachery! Treachery!
Treachery.
Treachery! Oh fuck!
Definitely not your man. The other likely suspect is this warlord, basically. Local guy. Calls himself
Keep doing
Blaze.
that.
He's hoarding antizin and then gouging the hell out of anybody who wants to buy some. I'm on a mission to get antizin from the airdrop.
This is the man that saves
I'll
Haran.
have to come up with something else.
Zach, show us.
It's right here.
Zach.
It's right here.
Zach!
What?
Zach! What's the difference between German ingenuity and German engineering?
No
one fucking knows!
One second. One. Gee,
This motherfucker is running faster than Usain Bolt on crack.
don't you fucking hit me. Okay.
You remember that, don't you? The little lizards.
Oh, dude, help! 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 Shoot me! Shoot something! Dude, what are you doing? No!
I am! I'm hitting you, goddamn! What the fuck? Oh fucking god! What the fuck? Fuck! You know what? You know what? Go ahead, help her, Lewis. How are y'all against playing other people?
Terrible.
There's a reason we're playing against bots.
Yeah.
You okay, man? Oh, man. It's in the air. Is that going in? Oh, look at the shot. Look at the
That
shot.
totally wasn't luck.
Yeah, that was luck.
Pure skill.
Look at all the twos.
Whoa.
Let me get my trip R out.
Adam, back up! What's the sound? A galloping horse. We rush to the door and we're greeted by two men dressed like they come from a medieval fair. Okay. We identified the source of the sound. One of them was holding two rocks and hitting them against each other constantly, while the other was skipping and pretending to be a rider. That's a great Monty Python reference. You see nothing, bro. Oh god, he is right there, isn't he? This is not ass-kicking music, this is like ass-spanking music.
He felt himself being hoisted out of the ocean. The lacquered hull of SS Hortensia glittered in the soothing warm yellow light of a setting sun. He turned his head to the calm ocean reaching towards the coast of Portugal and thought, is this another dream? This better be another dream. Goodbye, demon from the water. Hey.
That Tannenbaum ain't what you think. Florence Nightingale, huh? That'll all come crashing down before you can say canned tomatoes. I've seen good bunco, and I've seen great bunco. But when you waltz through Rapture and World War II without even a scratch, you got more than leprechauns watching over you.
What are you saying, man? That made no sense.
It's time!
Okay, hey, Claptrap.
This is it, minion. Our vengeance is finally at hand. Let's tear this planet a new toll. Yeah!
I'm gonna single-handedly stop the TV networks in all of the Middle East with a bunch of nades. I'm gonna throw a head at one of their friends. Yay! That actually worked. I don't even have to fight them. I can just throw their bodies against themselves. That is amazing. I did not know I could do this. Oh god. Mistakes. Mistakes were made. I hate you. Okay, the bigger the mushroom, the more evil, so I'm going with the little mushroom. Please. Are you serious? Look at that! Nice. Shit! Shit! Molly. Oh shit. Shit. Ah shit. Rip it off. Be the savage that you are on the inside, child. Okay. Can I whack it with its own leg? Will that be considered morally wrong? Creepy stuff. Oh my god. This guy has molester hands. Hey, don't their vehicles have scrap on them? They do. Where'd that vehicle even go? Oh. Wow! I have capabilities. Hello, bandit. Hello, poncho. I swear, if they manage to score off this. Tex? What is that? Indigonium. Heavy metal experts often call this hard rock deep purple. Oh, that's so cool! Because I get that!
I want people to see what it's like to watch the Droideka just suicide in the water as it... Oh, there, here we go. Watch this. Now it's time to talk about the future. And in that future is a lot of what I'm already doing now. To be frank, it's just, I'm thinking about expanding once I kind of get a decently sized following. Maybe branch into some analytical stuff, because there are several games that I'd like to do more analytical parts to, or analytical reviews of, as well as I'm a big fan of critiquing music. I think there's a lot that you can talk about, and a lot of people don't say a lot, which is fucking annoying to me. You know, when a band spends months and months and months to put out, you know, an hour's worth of material, there's probably a lot to criticize there. There's probably a lot to talk about there. And so I want to talk about it because I could literally talk about music forever. I just have to settle on a format and actually get around to working on it, because the level of quality that I want to try to get across during those productions are going to take for hell and ever. Because my Dark Souls 2 commentary is ridiculous, so imagine, you know, reviewing an album. You know, it's going to be insane. But yeah, that's a project I'd like to try out, as well as just do more analytical things on the channel, because I've had a lot of fun working on the Dark Souls 2 thing. The only problem is that it takes forever to do because of the level of quality I want to have, as well as I want to have like a format, and I still have to work out that format. But you know, I'm going to continue doing the walkthroughs both with and without commentary, just because those things I don't think will ever go away. You know, those are very relaxed, very easy to do. You know, and it's like a first impressions of a game. And then if I choose to go back and do a critique of the game, then I can point out like opinions that I've changed, you know, that have changed as I've played the game more and as I've gotten more used to it and as I've looked into it. You know, so those things will probably never go away. I would like to release music, and I would like to continue doing music-related stuff, just because I think it's fun to release that stuff. It's fun to, you know, make edits and mashups of other people's music. I just think music stuff is fun in general, just to talk about and to interact with, you know, and to like edit and mess with. So expect more music stuff on the channel. I think that'd be fun. Also, I'd like to continue doing my podcast. It's been a while since I've done an episode of the podcast, and at the time of recording this, it's near the beginning of August, and we're thinking about kind of making it a thing to try to get at least maybe 1 or 2 episodes out, you know, every month. That way there's something. That way we don't talk a bunch and then go dark for a year, because we had that happen. We recorded 7 episodes of the podcast, then the 8th episode came out almost a year after the last episode. Then the episode after that we recorded, and he forgot to send me his audio, and I think he buried it somewhere, and then I forgot about it, so we didn't end up doing it. I just deleted that and just like, we're going to redo that eventually. But I would like to podcast more. I think podcasting is an interesting thing. How I feel about streaming is very complicated, just given my format and given how I like the idea of streaming, but in my efforts to try to set it up, I found several problems that do not make me feel comfortable streaming. Like programs that are allowed access to all of my YouTube content is like, fuck you, I'm not allowing that. You know, I'm not letting you, you know, upload and delete videos for me. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not giving anybody else that power. That's fucking stupid. And unless they phrase that poorly, or I'm misinterpreting that, I'm never going to stream because of that on YouTube. I know Twitch is different, but I don't quite know how to do Twitch very well. And also Twitch scares me a little bit. But never say never, but I'm in a very skeptical spot when it comes to streaming. I would like to do some special projects here and there for the channel, such as, you know, anniversaries. You know, I'd like to do specials for like holiday things like Christmas, maybe 4th of July stuff, birthday things. You know, I'd like to do like special videos or streams or stuff like that. But like I said earlier, streaming is very, very strange to me. But yeah, those are things that I really think would be interesting things to try in the future, but I'm just not sure of what to do. In terms of what I'm already doing, like I said earlier, I'm going to keep doing the commentaries, and I'm going to keep doing pretty much everything I'm doing now, such as the commentaries, the best of compilations, you know, occasionally shit posting. Those things I'm going to keep doing just because they're a lot of fun to do. And one thing that I have been trying to work on is getting the best ofs out in a timely manner, because they do take a long time, just because it takes me 2 hours to record a 2-hour video, but to edit through a 2-hour video takes me like 4. So the time that it takes to go through games that I've already played, you know, and make a compilation of like funny parts from it or like interesting parts from it while editing and adding stuff in post to make it more entertaining. Those things take an incredible amount of time, and because I've recorded so much stuff already, getting through the backlog is going to be a massive pain in the ass. But I have devised a system where I'm going to try to get at least 1 hour of footage edited through a day. And what that means is every day I'm going to make sure that the recording that I'm editing through, I get through an hour's worth of editing. What I'm trying to get at with that is if a video is 3 hours long, the goal is to get through at least 1 hour of footage from there. So the video might be 3 hours and 15 minutes long. I will work on it until there's only 2 hours and 15 minutes of it. And I'll keep doing that and try to get it every day. I figured if I do that every day, that's 30 hours a month. Most games aren't going to be 30 hours. So I'll be able to get at least one best of up a month, maybe two. Once I start hitting some of the shorter games, it's going to be a lot easier because right now I'm trying to get through the backlog, and the backlog I've gotten certain ones that I really want to get through. I'm working on one for Zombie Army Trilogy. I'm working on one for the Subnautica video I did. I'm working on best ofs for the first 10 Skyrim Road to Commander episodes. And those ones are going to be the longest just because they're each about 50 hours apiece. They're incredibly long. And so they're very difficult to get through in a timely manner. And because those are going to take a while, just expect not a lot. And I am trying to work on 2 best ofs at a time. Like right now I'm working on Subnautica and Zombie Army Trilogy, just back and forth, just going back and forth between them, trying to get at least 1 hour either split between them or 1 hour done a piece. So when it comes to balancing, I'm going to try to, if the game is, say, my Skyrim Road to Commander, which is about 50 hours, I'm going to try to balance that by doing maybe a COD best of, because the COD games are tiny. They're like only a couple hours. The longest one I've played is Modern Warfare 3, and that's only because I play the shit out of the game for my channel, because the campaign's like 3.5 hours, Spec Ops is like 2 hours, and the survival's like 7. So that's going to be the longest Call of Duty, and even then I can probably knock that out pretty quickly. So I'm going to try to balance it out where I have a longer game mixed in with the shorter game so I can kind of keep a steady pace of progress for these best ofs, just because they take a while. But once I catch up, they shouldn't be too hard. That's really all that really matters to me at this point, is just trying to get through the games, in a decent manner, in a decent amount of time, because I don't want to spend 30 hours on like a 3-hour video. I'm trying to get through the oldest ones first, just because they're the oldest, but I might just pick and choose whichever ones, like just pick a long one, pick a short one, pick a long one, pick a short one, just kind of bounce back and forth. But other than that, there's nothing specific with the best ofs. I've thought about doing more commentary videos as well, just because I've really enjoyed doing some of the commentary videos, because it is nice to edit something, work on something that's a little bit more higher production than just here's a game for 7 hours. So I might do more commentary videos. My main thing is I don't know what to do about the commentary videos, because I'd like to have a structure. I just haven't refined my commentary style yet. Normally I just sit down and record my voice for however long, and then I find footage to go in the background, so it's pretty haphazard. But I would like to make it a little bit of a better system, and also maybe comments on some things that are trending, or do something that could give my channel a little bit of growth that's outside of gaming, just because gaming as a market is just super saturated on YouTube, massively oversaturated, and it is my fault for picking to be in there, but fuck it, I want to do that. I want to do gaming related stuff, so it's going to be hard to get there just on gaming stuff, so I might have to branch out. That'll be interesting to try. Apart from that, I don't really have anything else that I've got planned for the future, but you never know. Some new projects, some new creative things might come out every once in a while, so just keep an eye out for that, or anything else that you happen to like on this channel, because chances are I'm going to put whatever I want up here. It's just a matter of time, really. It really is just a matter of time. Question 1. What platforms do you play on? I play on PC primarily, just because I grew up with a PC, and I really prefer that to console playing, just because of the accuracy you can get with the mouse and keyboard, as well as, being able to, you have more options on PC in terms of games. Like, a ton of games are on PC that weren't on console or take a while to get to console. Like, for instance, Subnautica, I think, it's in its early access stage. I think it was entirely PC, but I think it's branched out into consoles now. And I love Subnautica, and I wouldn't have found that game if I hadn't been on PC. And so also there's some of my favorite games of all time, are on PC. Like, one of my favorite games that I've played for many, many years was World of Warcraft. And that was a big influence on my gaming perspective. And there were other games as well that were on PC that I couldn't get at the time. Like, I got into Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 because they were for Xbox and PC, but I didn't have a Xbox. I was a PlayStation person, so I wasn't able to play it. but I saw people play it on PC, so I thought, I'll buy it. And so I bought a copy, and that introduced me to Steam, and then that ultimately opened the floodgates for everything that came afterwards. But yeah, primarily a PC person. Every once in a while, I might play something on console just because some things are locked to console. You know, like I played Demon Souls recently, and that's only on PlayStation, which is a darn shame because I would love to play that on PC. You know, and I would play more Guitar Hero games, but a lot of the controllers I find just don't work as well as they used to. You know, basically the rhythm market's past its time, so a lot of the gear has broken down or is really overused. And plus my discs have just been fried. Like I swear I put at least a good 10,000 hours into the fucking, you know, Rock Band 3, you know, disc, just playing the shit out of that game and its DLC. No lie, like probably 10,000 hours, which I don't even know how many days that is. But that's a lot of. I put a lot of time into that game, and those Guitar Hero games. But yeah, that's my main platform is PC, and every once in a while I might play something on PlayStation if the game is locked to it. Question 2. What is your favorite game? That's a really, really tough question. Because I tend not to have favorite, like, specifics. I tend to have favorite, like, ranges or favorite groups. You know, like, if I would have to say what's my favorite, like, RPG style game, I'd probably say World of Warcraft or maybe Dark Souls 1. You know, just because I really love those games. You know, Skyrim's a good one. It's not the best game ever made, and it's not my favorite, but I do put a lot of hours into it, and I do think it's a really fun game. But when it comes to shooters, it'd have to be one of the newer Doom games, either Doom or Doom Eternal. Probably Doom Eternal, just because of how, like, rad and intense that shit is. I love it. But, yeah, I don't really have a favorite game per se, but one consistent game that I've loved playing would probably be World of Warcraft. So I guess I go off a list of my favorite games, just in general. I'd say World of Warcraft is my number one, but ones that are close to it would be Alien Isolation, Soma, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 Classic. Doom and Doom Eternal were a hell of a lot of fun to play. I'd also say Overwatch to an extent. Overwatch has been a lot of fun. Let's see. Subnautica, big fan of Subnautica. I'm trying to remember what games I've played. I've played too many games. Let's see. I think that would be about it. WoW's been the game I've played the longest. I love rhythm games, so like the Guitar Heroes and the Rock Bands. The only problem with those is that those games kind of shorted out for me, and I'm not the kind of person to spend like 50 hours on the internet, like trying to figure out how to emulate it with something else, you know. And also just, I got into Rock Band stuff because I wanted to play an instrument and learn how to play an instrument, and now I'm at a point where I actually know how to play an instrument, so I may as well just play the real instrument instead of, you know, trying to copy it, doing something else. But yeah, I'd probably have to say my favorite games probably be all the ones I mentioned. Probably Rock Band 3 and Rock Band 2. Rock Band 2 got me into a lot of bands that I came to love. But yeah, I'd say World of Warcraft is probably my number one, just because I played it for fucking, Jesus Christ, probably 14 years at this point. Question 3. Are there any games that you remember fondly after playing them for the channel? I'd have to say yes to this, for many games actually, because I really enjoyed playing Amnesia, The Dark Descent, Soma, Alien Isolation, and some games that I played beforehand, like some of the Call of Duties and some of the other games that I've had for a while, replayed, you know, Dead Space 2 I had for a while. I'd say some of the best ones that, not the best ones, but some of the ones I looked on most fondly was definitely Star Wars Battlefront Classic when that released on PC, and because that was such a nostalgia trip, because I was playing that like so much in like 2004 or 5 or whenever it came out. You know, like that was probably the first game that I really sank my teeth into and played a lot regularly. So that was definitely a big nostalgia bomb, because I hadn't been able to play it because I didn't have a PlayStation 2 that worked, and the disc was fried from when we used it. And, you know, and I hadn't played the game in like almost 10 years. So being able to go back and play it again was a big nostalgia trip and was a lot of fun. So I'd probably say definitely that one. And some of the other games that I've played for the channel have been really fun. Like a lot of the Road to Commander series games have been fun. So like Skyrim, the Dark Souls games. They've been fun to just kind of relax a little bit and just play the games. and just see how much content you can get out of the games. You know, like the Skyrim thing has been like an amazing trip. Just how many hours I've put into it, how much shit I've done in the game. You know, it's just a lot of stuff can kind of make me feel good about playing a game for the channel. I'd say those games were definitely some of my favorites. You know, the Road to Commander games are always really fun. You know, a lot of the funny moments games were fun, even though they didn't last too long. Like, the only one of the funny moments that me and my friends play anymore is Overwatch. And the only reason I don't record it is just because it's a pain in the ass to record like a 2 to 3 hour session almost every night, and then try to edit it when I don't have much time. Yeah, a lot of fond memories of a lot of games, but I'd say that several of them end up being quite fond when I've really enjoyed them. So like Amnesia, Soma, Alien Isolation, Skyrim, Dark Souls trilogy, even some other games like playing the Doom series for the first time has really made me love those games. Yeah, I think that's about all the ones that I have really fondly loved. Some of them I've actively hated after playing them, which, you know, so far the only 2 of them have been the Outlast games, but other than that, most of them have been a positive experience. Question number 4. Are there any games that you won't play for the channel? This is something that I've kind of thought about for a little while, and it really revolves around how easy it is to play the game where I can record it. Like, I thought about playing some of the rhythm games for my channel, but I'm too retarded to figure out how to use a capture card correctly. And also just the games were starting to, you know, have lag issues. You know, the disc was just getting fried, and the controllers were just completely being overused. So rhythm games were things that I wanted to play for the channel, but I was never able to just because I'm too incompetent, and the games and the hardware to play them were just getting old. Some of the games I won't play for the channel just because they're not my shtick, but I might play games like them in the future. Like, I don't tend to play a lot of 8-bit games or a lot of side-scrolling games or a lot of point-and-click games. I don't tend to play a lot of those. I tend to enjoy things that have much more kind of variety to them in terms of like mechanics. Like the more mechanics with the game, the more I'll probably enjoy it until it becomes retardedly complicated. Yeah, there's not really any game that I actively won't play for the channel, except for maybe like Battle Royale games. I really don't like Battle Royale games, and they're not my thing. I know that they're hot shit right now, especially Fortnite has blown up like crazy, but I'm never going to play Fortnite. I played it for like 5 minutes. That's an interesting statement. I'm never going to play Fortnite. I played it for 5 minutes. But yeah, I played Fortnite for about 10 minutes at like a friend's house, and I was just like, I don't like this. I'm not going to play this. This is not my thing. You know, and so I went and didn't play it, you know, afterwards. So just not really interested in that in certain genres. But yeah, I don't really put a limit on what games I will and won't play. It usually just revolves around revolves around what genre it is and if I've seen stuff on it. Like, I bought Cuphead to play for the channel, but the controls are so different from what I'm used to that it became really hard for me to do anything without it just being really repetitive and rage quitty. You know, so Cuphead would kick my ass if I played it now, and I don't think I'd get better with it. For the most part, I'm pretty open to any game. Question number 5. Are there any limits to what games you will play? This kind of piggybacks off of question number 4. I don't really limit what games I will play for the channel. Well, like I said, certain genres don't usually interest me. Like I said previously, like point and clicks, side scrollers, battle royale, you know, 8-bit. You know, just some game genres just don't interest me. You know, like, I'm not gonna get into any like dating sim games ever again. Like, the closest I ever got was Doki Doki, and the only reason I played that was because a friend told me to, and it was free. And I tried it, and that thing was kind of a psychological, like, meta horror game as well, so it wouldn't really count. I have been tempted to try out the Colonel Sanders dating sim just because of how retarded it sounds. Like, it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and I might enjoy that, but again, I don't know. It's just most things. I don't really put anything off limits, but those genres I don't tend to enjoy too much. Whereas RPGs, first-person shooters, you know, third-person shooters, you know, MMO RPGs. Those are the games that I tend to kind of like, you know, so I'll probably stick with those for a while. I might branch out every once in a while, but I usually tend to stick to those genres, and other genres kind of take a back seat. But never say never. I might play something, you know, of those genres or of a different genre I haven't tried out yet. Question number 6. Will funny moments ever come out again? I don't really know. Part of the reason Funny Moments came out in the first place was just because I wanted content for the channel and I wasn't making as much. And also it was just a lot of fun to record and edit through them. But over time I became kind of burnt out on the Funny Moments things, just because if you're playing with your friends like every night or every other night for 2 to 3 hours, it's really hard to find the time to sit through that and edit it. So it became a thing where I'd have like 8 hours of footage to get through, then I'd end up recording another 8 hours before I finished editing the first hour of those. It's a time thing as well as a recording software thing. I have yet to figure out how to get my recording software to record my voice the way I want to while recording the game, while also recording their audio as well. Because for some reason my recording software will record the gameplay, but it won't record their Discord audio. And I need to figure out how to do that, because if I did that, I might do Funny Moments again, but the only thing is, there'd be a lot of time in between those uploads, is all I'm going to say. And it's really just because I'm not quite sure, what else to do with the Funny Moments. They were fun, but at times I can see, it's one of those things where for every funny moment you guys saw, there was also like an annoying moment, and when you have to relive those annoying moments over and over and over, when you're editing, kind of became a drag. So I probably won't do funny moments ever again. I say probably just because you never know, but it's most likely that I'm not going to do funny moments ever again, just because of, I don't have the time to edit through them on top of everything else I do, and I really have a pain recording them now. Question 7. Why do you do walkthroughs with and without commentary, and why only for some games? This is a little bit of an interesting question. I do walkthroughs with commentary just because that's kind of the go-to walkthrough style, and also it gives my perspectives on a game, and I can give my first impressions of a game through that, and then once I kind of get used to a game, I might replay it with a no commentary version, and you'll see kind of a more refined playthrough. Like a good example of this are the Dark Souls trilogy of games. The first playthroughs I did for the channel of them, I missed some bosses, I missed some areas, I didn't beat some bosses, and then later on in the no commentary, after getting some experience and learning some stuff, I went back and played some of the extra areas and truly completed the game. But when it comes to why, I'll do a walkthrough for pretty much any game I have my eyes set on. The no commentary runs tend to be for games that I enjoy playing, and those tend to be games that I enjoy quite a lot. So I left a comment about this on one video because someone asked me the same thing. And the example I used was I love games like Subnautica, and so I did a walkthrough of Subnautica and then a no commentary version of Subnautica because I love Subnautica and I'm happy to play it again. And then the other options that happen typically is I will like a game but not enough to replay it, or I won't like a game after playing it and just don't want to touch it again. And the former of that would be the Metro games that I've played, Metro Redux and Metro Last Light. I enjoyed playing those games, but haven't really been interested to replay them, so I haven't really done anything with that. And Outlast 1 and 2 I actively hated after playing the games, so I'm never going to touch those again, because fuck them. But yeah, it usually revolves around games that I really enjoy playing, or really want to play for the channel, in some other capacity than just a basic walkthrough. And so what'll usually happen is I'll play them once, really enjoy it, go back and then replay them again, but I might try something different. Question number 8. What other projects and content would you like to try and make? This one's kind of interesting just because I'm a big fan of analytical work, like Mahler's critiques of things. I really enjoy those, and I really enjoy breakdowns of music and stuff, like music in video games and movies and stuff like that. I like being able to go deep and really, kind of understand the mechanics of a thing, on a deep level. So I've always wanted to do some critiques of things. Also just some other random projects I've thought up. I'd like to do a comic strip that's just kind of a simple stick figures doing stupid shit kind of thing. And also I like to make my own music. So that's the kind of stuff that takes a lot more time and effort to do. And if YouTube became my full-time thing and I made a decent living off it, I'm sure I'd be working on those things a lot. But yeah, I think those things are kind of projects that I'd like to do, like critiques, commentaries. I'm working on the Dark Souls 2 commentary. It's been a lot of fun to work on something that's much more high production, much more scripted, much more planned out. I'm probably going to end up doing that again. On what topic? I have no idea. but you know, I'm happy to do another one of those once this one gets done. I like having commentaries every once in a while, and I love shit posting. so those things will probably steadily come out depending on my thought process. Other projects would be kind of stuff that I haven't really done for the channel yet, or stuff that I've done for the channel but want to do it again in a more refined capacity. Other projects, apart from gaming-related stuff, usually ends up being about like reviews, like analytical stuff, going over a topic or a subject matter. Like I could do stuff about music forever just because I love music, but yeah, just mainly analytical stuff and like more creative projects tend to be the things that I'm thinking about doing later on. Question number 9. Why do you make your videos so long? This is really just a simple answer to a simple question where I make videos this long just because I'd rather watch a 8-hour video than watch 16 30-minute videos in a playlist. You know, if there's a game that's that someone's doing a let's play of and the game is like 7 hours, like say like Dead Space 2 or Amnesia, if it's that long, then just go ahead and upload that one video. I'll watch that one video. You know, it keeps things more streamlined where you don't have to worry about what episode you were on and what, you know, and how many episodes to a game there are. You know, it makes it where there's less videos but more content per video in my eyes, and that's one reason why I like it. Also because some games take for fucking ever to get through, and I'd rather not watch. You know, imagine me doing a 30-minute run per episode of Far Cry 3. I spent like 30 hours in that game. You don't want 60 episodes of that. I did the same thing with Just Cause 2. I had like 60-something episodes, and it's like I'm not gonna do that again. So yeah, that's stuff that I'm gonna be, you know, continuing just because I prefer the longer videos myself, and so I make stuff like that. Question number 10. Why do you do Road to Commanders that take 1,000,000 years to complete? Because I want to. That's really it. It's partially because of a challenge. I like long-running challenges and series on channels. Also, just it's because I want to try out games and just see what it's like to get to whatever the quote-unquote max level is. You know, and also I think it's fun to watch the content evolve as I play the game and to see the content change as I, you know, just as I change. You know, like Skyrim. Like, the Skyrim Road to Commander is the longest-running series on my channel. You know, and you can really see my personality shift as it goes along. Like, I get more confident, more comfortable, and hopefully more funny. And more entertaining. But, you know, just, I do the Road to Commanders just because I think they're fun challenges to do. And also, I'm curious as to how long it would take to get to those max levels. It's really just for shits and giggles, and just for kind of a challenge thing, really. Question number 11. What non-gaming projects are you working on? Right now, the only non-gaming project I'm really working on is my... Actually, now that I come to think of it, I actually don't have any projects that are non-gaming related. I mean, I have a commentary of Dark Souls 2 I'm working on, as well as I'm working on this video right now. Other than that, I don't really have any non-gaming projects that I'm actually working on. I have ideas for some, but I don't have anything under production right at this time. So... we'll see what happens, but hopefully I'm going to expand some stuff relatively soon. Question number 12. What YouTube channels do you like? Personally, I'm a big fan of Mauler. I really like his critique content, you know, in his dissection series. Very well done, very informative, very entertaining. Very thought-provoking. I really like the old Machinima Respawn crew. Like, I watched a lot of Scene Anners, and I watched a lot of Sark. You know, watched them do shenanigans and things like that. I was a fan of Markiplier for a time, but it's one thing where like I appreciate the man, but his content does kind of get on my nerves every once in a while. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Johns. Been a fan of his for a number of years, movie reviewer. Let's see, what else? There's also Soviet Womble. I like him and his crew, and his bullshittery stuff is really funny. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of what other stuff I like, because nothing really jumps to mind. Also, a big fan of Last Week's Special, which are kind of a old group of Left 4 Dead 2 custom map review people, you know, that would play the game a lot in 2009, 2010. They got back together a couple years ago after several years of kind of not being in contact with each other because of something, I don't know what. But they came back together. They're doing the same thing they were doing 10 years ago now, and it's actually pretty nostalgic to see. but it's interesting to see how their lives have changed. But yeah, those are probably the channels that are on my favorites list. I'm subscribed to a couple others, but none of them are really as prolific as that to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that, for the YouTubers that I really like. Question number 13. Why don't you collaborate with many other YouTubers? This is something that is kind of a principle on my channel that I tend to keep. I tend to keep within my own circles. I won't record stuff with people over the internet anymore. I recorded some funny moments with extra people, just derping around, just having fun, and I just decided to not do that as I kind of grew older and more mature. I started to think, they probably don't want this to be out on the internet, so I thought I may as well not do it. But yeah, the reason I don't collaborate with other YouTubers is just because I want to keep in my own circles, and also because I want to do things on my terms, and I don't want to blow up because I appeared in someone else's video. You know what I mean? It's that kind of mentality where it's like, if you subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours kind of a thing. I don't like that ideology because I think it's just, you should subscribe to people that you like their content, whether you like them as a person or not. You should subscribe to the channel if you like the content, not if you like the person. And it shouldn't be like a mutual trade of like, hey, you sub to me, I'll sub to you. Like, I don't like that principle. I think it kind of gets in the way of like, you should collab when you have something cool to create. You shouldn't collab because of differing sub counts or differing demographics, at least in my eyes. I'm a bit of a purist in that sense, where I really want everybody to like my content because they like my content, not because I appeared in someone else's video. Question number 14. Why do you keep so much personal info out of your content and channel? I love my anonymity. That's pretty much the only reason for this, is I'm a very private person, and I'm much more about the content as opposed to the person making the content. And the best way I can describe it is, if I ever got big one day, I don't want people to know who I am. I want people to remember me on YouTube for Vangeris the channel, not the person behind Vangeris the channel. I'd rather people remember me for my content as opposed to who I am. And it's a thing where it's like, I want my ideas and my entertainment value to get out there, but I don't want my personal life to get out there unless I let it out there. In other words, I just want to stay in control of who can contact me, who can't contact me, who really knows me, and who I get close to, because I'm very selective in who I let get close to me in my life. And that applies absolutely to my online presence as well. Question number 15. Why do you format your videos the way you do? This is a kind of a broad question, but I can summarize it pretty quickly. I just like simple videos. Like, I'm not the kind of person that needs a super ADD video to be entertained. And I tend to format my videos very simply. I don't really give them the clickbait titles or ridiculous thumbnails or anything. My thumbnail's very, very simple. Usually just shows the game. It'll have some text on it saying what the series is that I'm doing, if it's a walkthrough or not, if it's funny moments, Just very simple formatting, very simple editing. I usually just stitch sessions together with a little crossfade in between them, and then have a 3-second fade to black at the end of every video, just because Scene Anders did that, and he was a big influence on me making content, so I pretty much just copy that and just keep it. I keep things very simple for the most part. I don't do too many ridiculous editing things, and most of the time it's going to be jump cuts whenever I do an edited video, but other times I might throw in text and stuff like that, but I'm not going to have any crazy effects just because I'm not really into that. I'm a much more laid-back YouTube watcher. Like, I don't really need like a super highly produced, insane, like every frame there's a different meme being shown kind of content. I'm not that ADD, so I don't really view that stuff that I want to put out into the world. Question number 16. Have you ever scrapped a project or walkthrough, and why? The answer to that is yes, I have scrapped some projects. I was working on a character analyzation piece for Rey from Force Awakens up to Last Jedi, and I scrapped that just because I wasn't as passionate about it as I thought I was. I was working on another Last Jedi related thing, just going over the movie and showing how people from the social justice warrior camp could pick the movie apart if they really wanted to, just because there are a lot of moments in that film that show incompetency or downright racism and sexism on the part. You know, it's one of those things where when you pull back and look at it cynically, the movie can be considered very sexist, racist, and so on, just because there's a lot of moments where you can be like, well, what the fuck? They made the Asian character not able to drive. You know, it's one of those things where you can unintentionally find like things that are very anti-left wing in that product, even though it's supposed to be very pro-left wing, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, I've also scrapped some walkthroughs just because I either have trouble recording them or I'm just not interested in the game as I thought I was. Like The Forest and Space Engineers are good examples. They're fun games, but they're fun to play with friends, and my friends don't really play them all that much. That's really the whole point of, you know, scrapping those. Is I'm not going to put something out if I don't finish it or if I don't enjoy it, especially if it's going to be very long-winded. So for the most part, most projects I scrap end up that way because I don't feel as passionately about them after a little while, or because I'm just not enjoying recording them, or I'm having difficulties recording them. Question number 17. Will you ever stream? That's a strange question, just because I've thought about it, and given my format and how likely it is that personal information might get out if I stream, I've decided against it, just because I don't want anything happening that could potentially get information out about me. So I'm going to take the safe route and just not stream. I mean, I'd like to if I was certain that nobody would interrupt me, but you know, you just never know when someone might send you a message using a real ID or something like that, you know. You just never know, and I'd rather be safer than be sorry. So that's the short version is I'm not going to stream because I don't want personal information getting out. You know, the slight chance that there is that happens, you know, I'm just not going to risk it. Question number 18. Why don't you try to expand your channel by commenting or interacting with bigger YouTubers? This is mainly because I don't want to beg for subs, and I don't want to beg for attention, basically. You know, I want people to look at my content if they feel like clicking on it. You know, I don't want people to be spammed my content just because I leave a comment on some video that's trending, you know. I want people to like my content for me, and I want them to find it organically. I don't want to spam my stuff everywhere. You know, and some people could say that's stupid, and, you know, to a certain extent, it is probably stubborn of me to do that. But all things considered, I'd rather get big on my own and not get big because of somebody else's video with my comment on it. I'm a very individualized person. I want to do this myself. I want to do it on my terms, and I want to do it without the help of other people. For the most part, you know, if someone talks about my videos, or if one of my videos is linked to something else that I'm a fan of, I think that's a different story. But I'm not going to leave a comment on a big YouTuber, and I'm not going to try to get in with any certain crowd of YouTubers whatsoever. You know, the only exception to that might be is I'd love to play a game with like CNanners or Mr. Sark or Mauler, just because I think it'd be interesting. But apart from them, I probably wouldn't do anything with any of the bigger YouTubers out there. It's pretty isolated for the most part. I'm just going to stick to myself, you know, unless one of my heroes or someone I've watched for a long time notices my channel and says something about it. Question number 19. Who is your favorite YouTuber? This is something that I actually took a minute to think about, because some people I've been following for a long time, and some people I really appreciate what they do, but the only YouTuber that's consistently kept me entertained, and one of the only YouTubers that I continuously stay up with, or stay in tuned with, I guess, and stay caught up on is Mr. Sark. I'd have to say he's probably my favorite, just because his content's really entertaining, low-key, and it's a lot of things that I appreciate. You know, he's not PC, you know, he's not covered in bullshit like some other YouTubers are, you know, and his edits are always really, really fun, really funny. You know, the little cam he has when he's playing games, drop down text appearing every once in a while when something stupid happens. I really appreciate that, and I think he's one guy that really puts a lot of passion into his videos. Not to say that other people don't put passion in their videos, but you know, other YouTubers I've watched like Jeremy Johns, Mauler, Markiplier, you know, Last Week's Special, Vox's Productions. You know, it's like they all enjoy what they do, and I enjoy some of what they do, but I don't enjoy everything. You know, like every once in a while, it's like I just don't want to see a Jeremy Johns review, you know, or I don't want to see a Markiplier, you know, reacting to something or playing another triplet of Buki games for the 8 millionth time, you know? Sometimes I just kind of get burnt out on some YouTubers, but I've consistently gone back to Mr. Sark and kind of that Mr. Sark and been like, yeah, still entertaining, still fun, still funny. I probably would have said CNanners. CNanners hasn't posted for a long ass time. I think it's over a year since the last time he posted, you know, so I wouldn't really qualify him since his channel is kind of, it's not dead, but it's like he just kind of dropped it. And I really wonder about that, which is something I probably would talk about, you know, but I don't want to talk about it here. Yeah, I'd say Mr. Sark is my favorite. Question number 20. What do you think of the last 5 years? I have no fucking clue. I really don't know how to think about it. It's been a tremendous ride, personally, just because it's a thing where I didn't get that much growth over 5 years. The longer I take to get where I am, the more I kind of appreciate the way I've done it, where I'm not trying to clickbait people and where I'm not trying to, you know, make trending crap, you know, just cancerous trending crap, getting into drama, you know, stuff like that. Like doing what I want to do and trying to do it with integrity and trying to do it on my own terms, I think has really helped me kind of grow as a person, because it helps you stick to your guns, and it helps you to kind of have confidence in yourself when you're consistently doing something that you're doing for you. You're not doing it for money. You're not doing it for, you know, fame, fortune, or any of that bullshit. You know, you're doing it because you enjoy it. And I think over time I began to enjoy this stuff more and more, and lately I've been really having a lot of fun with it. The only thing is I really wish it was my main time thing, because then I could do it a lot more. You know, but yeah, YouTube has been a really fun thing for me, and the last 5 years has really been a interesting journey, both in terms of what I've been doing, as well as how YouTube has kind of helped me become more comfortable with myself. Because you can tell as my content goes along that I get more confident as it goes along, I get more entertaining as it goes along, I put more effort into my videos. You know, my videos look better, they sound better. You know, I get better at editing, I get better at the audio quality, I get better at the graphics, I get better at making videos. You know, more videos come out there a little bit. You know, I want to make sure that things are improving on the channel. I don't want to be a stagnant channel that just has, you know, grade B graphics for every game, terrible microphone quality, and makes crappy videos. Are my videos made for everybody? Fuck no. They are not made for everybody. They're made for a specific niche of people, you know. But if they want to enjoy that, and if they want to watch me, then great. But yeah, the last 5 years has been fun, and I'm looking forward to the next 5. You know, and I don't really know if I'll ever stop doing YouTube, to be honest. It's a nice hobby, but I think it might be a thing where once I have kids, or once I get really busy, I might slow down or stop doing YouTube entirely. I'm not quite sure. Last 5 years have been great, and I'm looking forward to the next 5. Question 21. How has your content changed you? Like question 20 said, it's kind of helped me get used to being on the internet. It's helped me develop a thicker skin. It's helped me to be kind of more, give me more perspective on myself. You know, it's helped me kind of stay humble in a sense when you put yourself out there and you take criticism as opposed to ignoring it or just saying it's haters. So I think the content has changed me for the better. It's made me more confident as a person, made me more, makes me think things more, like when I speak, just because I know it's going out into the public, you know, and people can find it, and they'll probably have issues with several of the things I say, you know, but it's helped me kind of refine my thoughts and my ideas and how I portray myself. Like, I feel a lot more confident about portraying myself online. I feel a lot more comfortable online now, and I feel like I'm improving I'm keeping my ego in check, which is my biggest thing. I hate people that have huge egos. I hate people like that. They're such fucking assholes. Yeah, I'd say this content changed me for the positive. And I'm interested to see what would happen if I get a decently sized following. Because right now I'm only at like about 1,100 subscribers. You know, it'd be interesting to see what would happen once I get like a small group of dedicated fans. I figured that'd be interesting to say the least. Question 22. If you could change one thing about YouTube, what would it be? Right off the top of my head, without thinking, the copyright system. The copyright system is fucking terrible on YouTube. It is so fucking stupid for people to spend hours making, you know, several hour videos for all of that revenue to get claimed because of a 10-second clip of a piece of music from somebody that you use in the background. The copyright system on YouTube, in my mind, is fucking stupid. I swear to God, like I mentioned this, that when I was doing my Far Cry 3 walkthrough, you know, 3 videos for that game, 3 long-ass videos, you know, like 8, I think it was like 8, 11 and a half, and 9 hours, like the 3 videos. The 11 and a half hour video, 11 and a half hours worth of content, right? 11.5 hours worth of content got completely blocked worldwide because of background music during a dance scene that lasted maybe 3 minutes. That's fucking ridiculous. Why does an entire video go down because of background music? You know, like I hate that shit. You know, and this is one thing where I feel like the only reason YouTube's copyright system is so bad is because people get real greedy about their copyright systems. You know, they get real greedy about what copyrighted stuff they own. You know, like, obviously I don't think musicians, you know, should not get paid for their stuff, and people shouldn't rip their stuff, you know, because that's their livelihood. You know, you wouldn't, you know, professional musicians don't do music as a hobby. They do it as a career choice, and because of that, they should get paid what they're due. You know, the same thing, like, you wouldn't want an EMT to come save your life, you know, if it's just a hobby to him. You know, it's like, I might save your life, you know, but I don't think I'm getting paid what I should. You know, it's just, there's a bunch, you know, I don't know. It's just, the copyright system is probably the worst part of YouTube, in my opinion, just because there's so much content that gets caught and claimed, and other people make money off of other people's work, and it's fucking stupid, and I hate it so much. You know, and this is one thing that I really, really, really dislike about YouTube, is just how the copyright system is implemented. You know, how much work and effort you can put into a video for it to get taken down because of one piece of music that lasts, you know, like less than 1% of the video. You know, I hate that. You know, and I've seen other YouTubers that I watch or are in communities that I'm a part of or stay tuned into. You know, and they talk about it how, you know, I remember one of Mahler's friends, Rags, made a video, I think it was about Fallout 76. And somebody claimed the music in it. You know, it's like a 2-hour video. Somebody claimed the music in it, and because of it, none of the revenue went towards Rags, who put all that work in to make that video. You know, and so he just demonetized the entire thing, so nobody gets any fucking money. You know, and this is one thing where it doesn't. And this is one thing where nobody wins. You know, this is a scenario where nobody wins, because the creator doesn't win because they don't get any money for the work they put in, and the person who copyright claimed it don't get any money because they haven't monetized it. You know, so it's like nobody wins. It's like, what the fuck is the point of the copyright system then? You know, I know YouTube wants to make their money back, and from what I've heard, YouTube doesn't make a lot of money, you know, for Google. So I don't know, but it's still just really annoying how the copyright system will claim shit, ruin an entire video because of a fraction of it, and also just, you know, not being able to release stuff worldwide because of that. You know, like, it's just so fucking annoying to deal with the copyright system. As well as, you know, entire channels cannot be monetized because of one video, you know, which is fucking stupid. You know, I'm going through that issue right now, trying to figure out how to see if I can monetize anything, or if I have to do something else, or just not be monetized at all because of, like, one video when I have several hundred videos. You know, it's a thing where it's like, okay, final rant on this before I move on. YouTube does not care about the creators. It's very apparent that they do not care about the creators. All they care about is the audience watching and how much money they make. They don't give a fuck about creators. They keep telling us this by the way that the copyright system works, the way the platform, like, will push people based on watch time, not based on the quality of the content. You know, it's just YouTube does not care about creators, and I'm very adamant in that about that. And it's very, you know, true that they just don't give a shit about us, especially if we're not, you know, in trending every other week. Question 23. What would you do if you made a good living off of YouTube? First off is I would be making a lot more videos, just because YouTube's one of those things that I could work on, like, easily 8 to 10 hours a day. Like, I really enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun to record stuff, and I have a bunch of different stuff I can work on, so I can, you know, if I'm feeling like it, I can record a commentary or something, or I can work on a walkthrough, or I can work on a no-com, or I can work on a editing something, or, you know, just I've got a bunch of different projects I can do, so I don't think I'll ever burn out. doing this or doing anything in particular. But if I made a good living off of YouTube, you know, where I was comfortable, you know, I definitely work on videos a lot more. I definitely do more channel-related things. Like, I know a lot of channels will do merch and stuff like that, and I'm not a big fan of merchandise myself. I don't hate it, but, you know, I'm not that big of a merch fan. You know, like, I'm not the kind of person to buy a t-shirt of my favorite YouTuber. You know, just because I'm not the type of person to do it. But I know people are out there, and some people might want it, you know, so it probably wouldn't hurt to give it a try. But if I was doing well enough on YouTube, I probably would, you know, try to do something community-driven, like maybe do a stream every week or every couple days where just kind of check in with the community, let them know what's going on, and just kind of do something fun where the community and I can interact regularly. Because I think that's a really cool thing. The only thing about that is it is streaming, and I'm a little bit anxious about streaming. But, yeah, I figured more community interaction and more videos and more time to work on videos I think would be the biggest thing for me. And plus, you know, the more time I have to work on videos, the more time I have to work on stuff that deal with the videos that aren't necessarily what I normally do. You know, like I've got a lot of projects that I would like to attempt, and I just don't have the time right now to really hit them full force. And if I do hit them, you know, it takes a long-ass time. You know, like if YouTube was my main thing, this Dark Souls 2 commentary would have been done within a year at most. You know, it wouldn't have taken me like 2.5 years or however long it's taken me to work on it. So definitely more videos, more working on content, and more interaction with the fans and with the subscribers and with the community, I think would be stuff that I would really focus on if I was making a good living off of YouTube. Plus, it wouldn't hurt that, you know, I get to do what I love for a living. Now, we reach the end of this video. And here, I'd just like to say thank you for 5 years of comments, 5 years of videos, and 5 years of just trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. It's been a very, very fun ride, although I've reformatted things so many times that I've probably deleted more content than I've actually put up, but it was fun anyway. So, yeah, just thanks again for everything that you guys have done to contribute to the channel, such as the views, the comments, you know, constructive criticism here and there, as well as several funny comments and things like that. So just thanks, really. I don't really know how else to say it. Just thank you for your time. Thank you for your interactions, and I'm looking forward to many more interactions in the future. So I'd just like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.